topic is solving trig equations when they are set up as a quadratic. The resource you can look at is the IBSL textbook on page 271. If you'd like to do some reading, what different examples would look like for the quadratic equations. Let's go on to our first example. We want to solve this equation for x, and we're given the domain restriction from 0 to 2 pi, so that first revolution. And we want to give the answers as exact values. So we are going to do some factoring. So in this example, 2 sine squared of x plus the sine of x equals 0, and we want to find out what is x. So let's take out the GCF first. So the GCF in this example is the sine of x. And we're going to be left with 2 sine of x plus 1 equals 0. Now we're going to go ahead and take each factored part and set them to 0. So one factored part is the sine of x. So we say the sine of x equals 0. The second factored part is 2 sine of x plus 1 equals 0. And what we do is we solve these both for the sine of x, and then we use inverse trig to find the values of x. And we're going to leave these in radian measure because our domain restriction is from 0 to 2 pi. So let's talk about this first equation, the sine of x equaling 0. If we want to find out what x is, we say x equals the sine inverse of 0. Now think about your unit circle. When does the sine of x equal 0? Well, it equals 0 at 0 radians. Remember that order pair is over 1 up 0. This is the sine. So we have one solution of 0 radians. Then if we continue around the circle, we have another angle over here of pi because it has the order pair -1, 0. That is also 0 being the sine, so we have an answer of x equaling pi radians. And then if we continue around the circle, so now we're making our way around back to what you can think of as your starting point. This is also coterminal to 0 radians. So our third solution is 2 pi radians. So there's 3 possible solutions. Now let's go over to 2 sine of x plus 1. We want to solve this for x. So we do our undoing. We're going to undo that 1, so we'll subtract 1. And then we'll undo the 2, so we will divide both sides by 2. So we get the sine of x equaling -1/2. Now we use inverse trig, the sine inverse of 1/2, and we want to find the angles. So kind of just change color here for you. The sine of x equals -1/2. Just be -1/2 here. So unit circle, think about 11 pi over 6, because that ordered pair is square root of 3 over 2 -1/2. There's your sine value for 11 pi over 6. So we have a solution of 11 pi over 6 radians. And then one other possible situation for a value is 7 pi over 6. It has an ordered pair of -square root of 3 over 2, -1/2. There's the sine. So our last solution is 7 pi over 6.